Have you ever wondered why we are so obsessed with aesthetics? From cottagecore to darkacademia, old money aesthetics to barbiecore, palettecore to coconut girl, and coquette aesthetics to strawberry girl. If you're like me, interested in fashion and current trends, you might notice the increasing number of trends coming and going, making it harder to keep up. In recent years, new trends and microtrends have been appearing on social media platforms almost every couple of weeks, leading us into the world of aesthetics and aesthetic subcultures. In this video, I aim to explore the origins of aesthetics, why we feel compelled to follow aesthetic trends, and their impact on our self-expression, self-identity, and even the climate. Hi everyone, my name is Daria, and in this channel we're talking about fashion and costume design and current trends. And if you enjoy video of this type, please hit that subscribe button below. So especially now that I have this new microphone, hopefully my videos will be even more enjoyable to watch and especially to listen. Let's start by discussing the concept of aesthetics. So what is an aesthetic? According to the Oxford Dictionary, aesthetic is the qualities and ideas in a work of art or literature that relate to beauty and the nature of art. The word aesthetics in philosophy and psychology has a very different meaning from the current use in trends. There, it's about the perception and judgment of art and beauty and the related issues, the interpretation of art and good or bad taste. For instance, French psychoanalyst and psychiatrist Jacques Lacan saw aesthetics as a realm where visual art serves as a lure for desire, inviting individuals to fantasize about overcoming alienation and regaining a sense of completeness. He also describes the aesthetics as a fantasy image of oneself that can be filled in by others who we may want to emulate in our adult lives. In the context of trends, aesthetic encompasses more than just artistic appreciation or visual beauty. It extends to encompassing the overall style and preferences and lifestyle of individuals or groups. This expanded definition includes not only how things look, but also how they are experienced, perceived, and also consumed. In her new book, Collapse Feminism, the online battle for feminism's future, Alice Capelle writes, "New me equals new aesthetic, new hair, new clothes, new vibe. It is not surprising that closet decluttering videos, as well as fashion and homeware hauls, attract so many viewers. They materialize the never-ending cycle of self-formation from the rejection of the past self to the new me, all sponsored by capitalism." While the current online and social media aesthetics may seem like a groundbreaking new way of self-discovery, it's actually not a new thing. The clothes and your style has always been a key to self-expression. And there was always a dilemma for balancing your personal style and following the current trends.
What might suit one person is less becoming on another. This pair is right for shape, giving width to an oblong face, but the color does not suit her hair and complexion as much as the expert's choice.
But in recent years, I have noticed one difference though. If before we had one trend that everyone was following, like a mainstream, right now there is a mixture of microtrends that coexist together. So if you want to be dark academia, or if you want to be preppy vibes, or follow 90s nostalgia, Rachel style from Friends, or the timeless elegance of Bassett Kennedy, you can do any of that. It can be viewed from the positive perspective, as arguably the fashion landscape became a vibrant variety. And especially for younger Gen Z, but also for many people, it gives more room for self-exploration and finding your personal style. At the same time, however, the excessive option of trends are actually creating a lot of pressure to follow what currently is trending and can become suffocating and leave no room for that same self-exploration and finding your personal style. It seems almost like a paradoxical process. At the pursuit of individuality, we may fall to the path of uniformity, making the quest for authentic individual style seem unattainable. Refinery29, in their article "I Can't Be the Only One Exhausted by Aesthetic Culture," writes, Constant set of rules to fit into can be exhausting, let alone if rules change as often as new aesthetics pop up. You're not allowing yourself to be you, and you're putting pressure on yourself to deliver and hit an aesthetics expectations. Since the start of TikTok trends, which many believe is Visco Girl and Alt Girl in 2019 and 2020, the trends become more and more specific, with almost like defined set of rules to follow and procedures to partake, not only in fashion but also in your lifestyle. If you're a clean girl or a dead girl, you should start your day with journaling and then skincare routine and Pilates class. If you're into cottagecore, you should for sure set a time aside in your day to go frolicking in the field and make a picnic on the beautiful green lawn. It almost feels like people are molding themselves into these characters instead of purposefully trying to grow and find who they are.
So right now we have Coquette, we have Clean Girl, we have Fleabag, we have Man-Eater, and all of these online personas don't really hold any authenticity to these people themselves. And it's really just a reflection of whatever echo chamber this godforsaken app has placed us in.
There is a compelling argument to be made, though, that while trends can overshadow our personality, especially when we're not discerning with content that we engage with and our motivation to hope on the certain trend, they have emerged during the pandemic, starting from 2020, the time when people sought for connection in online communities. But when it comes to community, it is important that everyone feels included, right?
You've just stopped being a study group. You've become something unstoppable. I hereby pronounce you a community.
Well, apparently not quite. Many TikTok's aesthetic have faced criticism for being too focused on Eurocentric ideals like in diversity, inclusion, and representation. While some online communities certainly exist, with the sheer volume of trends and the rapid turnover, it's questionable whether there is a genuine sense of belonging when one hops onto a microtrend that disappears before it even solidifies. But one could argue that fast fashion is making aesthetic trends more accessible to people who otherwise could not be able to afford it, thus contributing to the inclusivity and the sense of belonging to many people. And yes, it is true that the lower-end prices are democratizing fashion, allowing people who did not have access to it to buy clothes and to express themselves throughout their clothes. But the issue arises from that a lot of fast fashion brands create the delusion for people with lower income that they can also wear the clothes only once because they are so cheap, or they can change your outfit every day, like celebrities or big influencers. Wise has conducted a survey, and the result was that of the 9,549 people asked, do you ever buy an item and wear it once before chucking it out? 23% of respondents said yes, while 8% out of 11,000 respondents said that they buy more than 10 items a month. The reality is that not everyone has a luxury of frequently changing their wardrobe, nor there is a necessity to sift through thousands of new items each month to express oneself. Doing so often comes at the expense of exploited workers in the third world countries and exacerbates the environmental impact of the fast fashion industry. I don't want to dwell solely on the environmental impact of the fast fashion in this video, but hearing these numbers make me feel kind of ominous. Americans now buy a piece of clothing every 5 days on average. Every week, an estimated 15 million used garments from North America, Europe, and Australia arrive in Ghana's capital city of Accra. Germany's volume of clothing and textile waste has increased from 82 tons in 2004 to 173 tons in 2022. Not to mention the current fashion supply chain system disproportionately harms the countries we have outsourced labor to, burdening them with the disposal of the world's clothing donations. This is truly an intersectional issue, emphasizing that every purchase has far-reaching consequences. But even if we know all of these facts, consumerism is still deeply ingrained into our society and perpetuated from the young age through media and cultural influences. I don't know about you, but when I was growing up, I was watching movies such as Clueless or Mean Girls or Devil Wears Prada, which glamorize the idea that changing your wardrobe can transform your identity, therefore yourself. So what can we do as individual consumers? Even though the main responsibility lays in the hands of big fast fashion brands like Zara or Shine, I do believe that consumers are also to carry the responsibility. And it's in the end up to all of us how and what we spend our money on. There are some ways that can improve our wardrobe without feeling like we're missing on trends or developing our personal style. For example, recently I came across this app that helps you to style the clothes in your own wardrobe in a clueless like wardrobe. In their blog, they write, "We don't always buy things out of necessity, so how do we discern between what it is we actually like and what it is that we have been conditioned to like?" As an encouragement, they list a simple but I believe a useful list of what we can do as a consumers. That includes not rushing with purchases and think several times before you buy an item. Style the item of clothes in your wardrobe with existing clothes to make sure it works more than one specific outfit. And lastly, make sure that you like the item and not the person that is wearing it and the style of this person. As to the self-identity and personal growth, I want to end it with an inspirational letter from Kurt Vonnegut to some of the students.
Practice any art, music, singing, dancing, acting, drawing, painting, sculpture, poetry, fiction, essays, reportage, no matter how well or badly, not to get money and fame, but to experience becoming, to find out what's inside you, to make your soul grow.